was 19 years old in 1945 and was drafted and sent overseas, wound up in Italy at a prisoner of war camp 339 located outside of Pisa. I spoke and understood Yiddish, and I guess they thought that would be helpful in a German prisoner of war camp, and so I was attached to an engineer battalion that was supervising the motor pool in that particular prisoner of war camp. It was a large camp with just German prisoners of war. In the beginning, the SS troopers were sent home first because they were more of a problem than the regular German soldiers who stayed on for quite a while and did various tasks. At about this time, the concentration camps in Europe were liberated, and there were a number of pictures available. I was able to get a hold of a couple which showed just hundreds and hundreds of dead bodies piled up, as well as individual people who looked so starved they were really skeletons. I thought I'd show these to the prisoners I was working with and get their reaction. But almost every one of them denied that they were real. They said, "You have your propaganda and we have our propaganda." And so I never really had a sense that they accepted these photos that I was looking at. Many years later, I was living in Washington, D.C. and teaching art at American University. At that time, I saw a great movie called Shoah. It was an unbelievably moving movie which showed you the cattle cars that people were transported in. It showed you the concentration camps. It showed you the where the people were burnt, actually, the moratoriums. It also showed you where the ashes were buried, but there was an absence of people. I don't remember seeing people, either dead or alive, and I remember the photographs in the army of people, of dead people as well as semi-dead people. And so I decided to see if I couldn't find those photos. And I went to the archives in Washington, and they had a huge collection of photos dealing with things that were done at different concentration camps. I was surprised to find that there were many more concentration camps than I realized. I always thought there were just one or two big ones. I stayed at the archives for 2 days, drawing and looking at these photos. I then went back to my studio and made the monotypes that I made. I made these because I really wanted to do something to keep these images alive. I thought it was important that they not be forgotten.
Jack Boul is really the dean of Washington printmakers. He's been working in this area since the early 1950s. He's taught at various institutions, including American University, the Washington Studio School, and you can see as you go from place to place, from art show to art show, that he's had a tremendous impact on students and artists all over the area. Jack Boul's Holocaust series, a compelling, powerful set of work that talks to us about the horrors of the Holocaust during the Second World War. These were moments that show man's inhumanity to man, and Jack had to compellingly deal and engage with these important issues. We know that he did it by way of having experienced film, having experienced photographs, having talked to prisoners of war. We know that this had a profound effect on him, and that he reacted to this by engaging the subject on a very visceral level. Arms and legs and skulls and body parts. And yet, it's more than simply about the Holocaust as a pictorial record. It transcends that in the way that great art always transcends the immediacy of its subject. As with Callot, as with Goya in his Disasters of War, it's an anti-war tract of great power, giving us that idea that man's cruelty to man is something that's always possible. There's always some potential for this. We need to remain sensitive and aware and not forget that this happened not so very long ago, and that we're reminded of it by the power of Jack's ability to organize his thoughts visually and to present them in this series to us.